Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, y'all, as they say in the South, y'all. Hey, good morning and welcome to Traffic Report. You're listening to a live traffic report. Yes, it is a national holiday here in North America. It is called Labor Day. If you recall, last week we were having a little bit of fun with the concept of Labor Day. Is Labor Day really, is it to celebrate, or is it an opportunity to give the working man and the working woman one extra day off a year? Throw them a bone for the 40, 50, 60 hours a week they're putting in for the man. What a nice gift, huh? Just get a free day off. Not like that here in Free Enterprise. We make our own rules here in Traffic Authority. How cool is that? How wonderful is that? Or the other side of that equation, if you remember last week, we were talking about, well, maybe, and this is where I live, okay? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm feeling about Labor Day here in North America. To me, it's Labor Day everywhere in the world, because on Labor Day I celebrate the moms of the. It's like another Mother's Day, right? Now I don't know what it's like to give birth, honestly, obviously, but I got to celebrate all of the women who have done all of the work. They call it Mother Earth. You know, I'm really down with the whole female energy thing. So for me, Labor Day is to celebrate all of you moms out there. Thank you, my mom, for laboriously, giving me birth and then working with me as I was coming through, puberty and trying to figure out life. Thank you, Mom. She's still there with me today. My mom is in her 80s. I love you, Mom, if you're listening. So quickly, my name is Joe. This is not we're not here to talk about mothers any longer today. Although today we're going to do something a little bit different on today's radio broadcast. I see we do have a whole bunch of people here. There are a couple of you in the queue. And if you've been with us for the last 3 weeks, every single morning, Monday through Friday, we open up the floor and we answer questions for those of you guys who are just joining us in Traffic Authority. This morning, I'm going to be the one asking the questions. This morning. So before I get there, though, and I'm going to answer a couple questions, but there's a couple things I want to talk about before I get to that portion. If you'll bear with me just for a moment, give me about. I want to share something with you. Just give a listen to this, okay? And for those of you guys who understand as football season is starting, you may recognize this, but this is really about what our topic is here this morning, okay? And the topic is really about team. Together, everyone achieves more. And I want you guys to understand, if you sent in a support ticket, I've had a couple of people on my own Facebook page pounding me with a question and then hitting me again, and an hour later, I took the day off kind of yesterday. I actually, as a matter of fact, my cell phone is still turned off, and you know how refreshing that was after the last year. Actually, this is a project that has been, it's been pretty intense behind the scenes. And then yesterday we didn't have any calls. It was dark. Yesterday was the first time, I think, in about 3 weeks that there was no communication from this platform. We didn't have a webinar. We didn't have a radio show. So yesterday I turned off my phone. And I didn't even open up my laptop. And when I went and I opened up my laptop, there was a couple of people who were just like pounding me with the same question over and over. Like I've got nothing else to do in my entire life except answer this one question. And the question was something like this. I spent my $47, but I don't see any money. I'm not making any money yet. What's wrong? We're going to talk about that conversation in a moment. But before I do, I'm going to grab a quick cup of coffee. Listen to this, okay? I'll be back. Listen to just pay attention, okay?
And we can stay here, get the kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. That's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, difference between winning and losing. In any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I don't know if I'm going to have any life anymore. It's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You got to look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you going to do?
Call me corny if you'd like to. You can call me corny. But that actually fires me up. That is from the movie called Any Given Sunday. That's Al Pacino. He's the guy who played the coach in that movie called Any Given Sunday. And that's a locker room speech that he gave to the team. And the very first thing he said, and it really resonates with me, he said, we either heal as a team or we will die as individuals. And the reason I brought that up this morning is because I want you guys to really trust and believe and know that this team that has been assembled here, this team of extraordinary, gifted entrepreneurs, this team of visionaries is here to fight for that inch for you, period, end of story. You know, I got to tell you, this morning I was feeling a little bit of frustration because, you know, one of our rules, right? We have a rule. One of the rules is that you can't be inviting people. You can't personally invite people into the Facebook page. Now, I know that the persons who are inviting those to the Facebook page aren't listening right now because I know that you guys are part of this team and that you get it, okay? Added by, thank you. Thank you very much. Invited by, added by, whatever the case, you know what I'm talking about. When you go onto your list and you say, you know what, I'm gonna do this guy a solid. I want to bring my team here. I know that you think you're doing the right thing, but you're driving a guy like me crazy because those people aren't going to get in. They're going to be excluded from the team. People got to want to join the team. You can't force somebody in here. So, like, this morning, I was like, oh, my goodness. I checked in with Doug Wellens this morning. He said, dude, last night I spent a half hour just sorting through the list of people. Now, I know that you guys are all doing the right thing. But my point here, and this is why I listen to this, and that is a piece that I have listened to for years, that little locker room speech, because it really speaks to me. You know, one of the things he said is, we heal as a team. So I want you guys to know that we are a team. We, every single one of us, the person who got started 5 minutes ago is as important to me as Vincent Ortega Jr. is to me. And Vincent Ortega Jr. is a guy who is still making crazy money, thousands of dollars an hour. Okay, so we're all a team. And the other thing he says is, I can't do it for you. Talking about the battle, talking about the game. In this case, we're talking about building your business, building a business in traffic authority. I can't do it for you. Doug can't do it for you. Adam cannot do it for you. And I see people on Facebook saying, you know what? I spent my $47, but I'm not making any money. Where's the money? They're freaking out. Saying, Adam, can you help me? Greg, can you help me? You know what? All we can do is be here to support you. And like he said in that little audio there, I can't do it for you. And we can't do it for you. But this is such a simple business. I want you guys to understand. This is really, in that little audio there, he talks about this is a game of inches. Life is a game of inches. The margin for error is so small. The inches that we need are right there, right in front of us. And all of that is true. And I'm thinking about a simple thing like a click, an email address. It is as simple as just telling people, if they ask you, and they will ask you, what do you do for a living? All you say is, I'm an internet marketer. And if someone presses you for more information, you just say, I'm an internet traffic broker. That's what we do. Okay? We're internet marketers. And whenever I tell somebody I'm an internet marketer, and the conversation will go on, you know, and they'll want to know a little bit more. One of the things I never do, however, is spill the candy in the lobby of the theater. I don't tell everything to anyone except here's what I tell them. Give me your email address, and I'm going to send you an invitation to see exactly what it is that I do. That is my conversation. And I pick up email addresses everywhere I go. Like this guy just said, that was like the coach. He said, it is a game of inches. This is a game of just email addresses, really. You know, ultimately, the only thing that we can do is gather more contacts, gather a bigger list. And you can create your list. What a great way to create the list to buy traffic from Traffic Authority. But you know what? I'm standing at the grocery store the other day, and the guy who serves me my slice of pizza is now on my list. It didn't cost. Well, you could maybe say it cost me, I don't know, $1.99 for the pizza, and who knows how much bigger my butt is because I shouldn't be eating pizza every day like Greg Chambers is since Natalie's gone. But my point is, hey, hold on. My point is that I was able to get that lead just because I had a conversation with the guy. Okay, the margin for error is so small. Okay, what he said there in that little speech, and it's true. The little actions that you take or don't take are going to be the difference between you making money or not making money. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, when I get on the Facebook page, Greg, I know that you're there. I see people who are like they're demanding, they're freaking out, and some people, and this is me. Okay, this is one thing I want to share with you guys is that I have lived this. I'm what do they say? I'm chewing the same dirt as you, right? I have lived this, where I came across a company and it was a lifeline to me. It was a lifeline to me. Broke, and this has been more than once. This has probably happened 3 times in my career in direct selling, okay? In my career in direct selling, I have come up against a wall. And a company, to me, was a lifeline. You know what I mean? It was a lifeline. It was like somebody was throwing one of those circles, those donuts in the ocean, and I was clutching. I was going under, and I saw something like this. But seeing something like Traffic Authority wasn't just enough. I had to take action. Now, my own personal experience, okay, my personal experience, and this is for those individuals who on Facebook are saying, I don't have any money. Believe me, the Joe, Papa Bear, gets it. I get it. Because 3 times in my life, one time I had an eviction notice. I actually had the gas turned off in the Midwest. It was spring. They turned off the gas, so I didn't have a furnace. I didn't have any heat. I had an eviction notice. Do you know that when you get a foreclosure that they actually staple it to the door, right? You know what it's like to open up the door and there's a notice on the door? That was me. So when you guys say I don't have any money, I get it, man. I get it. This was in the old days when you didn't have cell phones. When my telephone, and I can go off on this whole thing of free, the tyranny of free. Everything is free now. I got news for you. Nothing is free. Everything that's free on the internet, ultimately somebody comes in and drops the load, right? Nothing is free. You misunderstand it, for real. But I remember when I used to pay $2,000, $3,000 a month for a telephone bill to be in direct selling and network marketing. But what I'm telling you is that I have been to that edge. I've had to call my friend who was doing very well in life and meet him on the golf course because he had a membership to a country club, and he lent me $2,000 to start a business. In the last 6 years, 2 separate times, with a wife and her 2 children, living in a miniature mansion with I don't even want to go into all the details, but I've made 2 separate appearances at a pawn shop with all of my stuff, all of my goodies. Okay, I mean like Rolex watches and black pearls and multiple diamond rings and you name it. I had to give the guy about $65,000 worth of stuff to get a $6,500 check, and then I had 90 days to make enough money to live my life and then go and get my stuff back so he didn't sell it. I did that twice. Believe me, man, I know. You know, but the inches that we need are all around us, and we can't do it for you. You know, you have to take action. You're going to have to do some things. But how simple is it, really? Okay, and I'm still blown away by the level of sophistication and all the detail and everything that's been put in there by the team. You know, when you go through the member back office. And my question for you, anyone who has a question for me this morning, and one of the goals here I want to tell you guys is this show, this every single morning opportunity, this should not be more than 30 or 35 minutes long. This is a place where we come and we just charge our batteries and we hear from a couple leaders, and I'm going to be here making announcements for the day and what is the upcoming schedule. And we'll hear from a couple of you guys. You'll shine. But this, you know, sitting here for 2 hours answering questions, we know that in the beginning it's required. But now everything is pretty much working. So anyone who has a question for me this morning, I want to ask you, before you ask your question, to tell me whether or not you watched every single video. Have you experienced the entire process at your Traffic Authority website? Because that's the questions that you most likely have are in there. Okay. I love that piece, that Al Pacino piece. And you'll hear me play that from time to time. It's just like I listen to it. It invigorates me. You know, I get fired up when I hear that. You know, and my favorite part of that, again, is that, you know, the fact that, you know, the guy who is willing to die for that inch is the guy who's going to win. And when you look around you, you are surrounded by guys who are willing to die for that inch. Our leadership here is unbelievably good, unbelievably gifted, unbelievably hardworking. Last night, you know, I fell asleep at 7:30. I turned my cell phone off. It was like I disconnected from this energy source. It's like being plugged in. It's like, you know, those giant. I used to have a boat. I remember I used to have to plug the boat into the dock, and it was this giant yellow plug with these round. You know, you had to put the plug in and turn it. That's what it feels like being plugged into this Traffic Authority energy. Like, it is relentless, man. We're plugged in here. And then yesterday I finally unplugged, and I fell asleep at 7:30. I was like, whoa, I slept for like 10 hours, 12 hours. 10 hours, sorry. And it was like, but I'm back here this morning. And I'm feeling energized, and that little piece that we heard there, that really energizes me, because I know that we are surrounded by people who are willing to give it their all. They're willing to fight for that inch. Like he says in that piece, look across the room. Look across the huddle. Look at our faces when we do a webinar tomorrow night. You're looking at guys who are willing to die for that inch, who are committed to this company, who are committed to the long term of this company. We refuse to go away. We refuse to submit. Like, what is that, mixed martial arts? You're never going to see anybody tapping out here, not at the highest levels. And you will have results. You will have results, but we can't do it for you. You have to do the work. Period. End of story. All right. Hey, Doug. Hey, Greg. How you guys doing? Did I lull you guys to sleep, Greg or Doug? I see you off mute.
I'm alive over here. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yes, I can. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing awesome, and it's killer to be out here on a Labor Day, and I want to thank all the tribe members who took some time out on their holiday, their Labor Day, to come out and listen, and looking forward to answering questions and helping people out today. And I will let you know that I tried to call you after 7:30 last night, and went right to voicemail. I go, man, Joe's off the grid. What happened?
I was off the grid, bro. And you know what? I recommend, Greg, I know you well enough to know that you are always plugged in. And I'm going to recommend that every once in a while you just unplug, get off the grid, close the computer, turn off the phone. It really is.
I was actually out driving around. So, I mean, yes, I was actually off, but still I was not quite ready to be completely unplugged. I wanted to go for a few things with the Dancing Bear, but I'm glad to hear you got some rest in. I did the same thing the night before, and the tech team's also gotten some time off this weekend, which they needed. They've been working like 3 weeks straight, so it's all great, though. We're moving forward.
And Greg, I just want to salute you, okay? You're one of these guys that I know is willing to die for that inch, and that's literally, because some of these individuals, they're driving right to the edge, right? You hear these are true stories. Guys are not sleeping for 24, 48 hours. They're working their I love it on Saturday morning when Doug said one of the technicians fell asleep and then woke up and went to the bathroom, and the number, one of the keys from his computer was stuck to his forehead, because that's how hard everyone is working. He literally fell asleep at his desk. And that's my point, Greg. I got to salute you, because I know how hard you work. I know how much you care. And sometimes when and I will share with you, right, I'm the happy dancing bear, but sometimes I'm a mean bear, because I get on Facebook and I see these individuals who are just like pounding us with the same question every 5 minutes, I'm thinking of Jason and the people in customer service. It's like, come on, man. Just everybody simmer down. Just simmer down now. We're going to get to the questions. A couple other things I quickly want to say, okay? I'm going to open it up. I do see there are some people in the queue. This is Labor Day here, as I said at the very beginning, here in North America. Also, I will say this, for those of you who have a question about your traffic, the traffic is not started. You know, on this day in history, they turned on the Hoover Dam. You know, have you ever been through going to Vegas? You drive from Phoenix to Vegas. You drive through the it is amazing. You look at this thing and you're like, are you kidding me? They actually built this. Who? It's one of the wonders of the world, right? Well, that thing, on this day in history, they turned it on. They actually started letting the water through. They held back the Colorado River or something, man. Some amazing, amazing feat of nature, right? So what I would say, though, it's kind of like what they did to Hoover. I would put that on the same level, not quite, but almost what we did here with Traffic Authority. But traffic, if you're wondering about your traffic, it hasn't started moving yet. Now, I'm driving my own traffic, right? When I'm talking to people, I'm going into my member back office where my links are, my marketing links, and I'm sending people a link to my marketing link. I'm sending a personal email, and they're ending up in my GetResponse account. The other thing I'm doing, you know that webinar we did Thursday? You know that webinar Thursday where we had Adam come and walk through the whole back office? And then we had that discussion at the end where we really got into the view from 35,000 feet. Remember that? Well, I'm including that link. That link is still there. You can go to trafficweblive.net, and that is still the link to that specific that webinar. And I'm including that. When I'm saying, hey, man, hey, Mr. Man who works at the grocery store, this is Joe. You know the guy that bought the pizza? Well, I told you I'd send you my link, and here's my link. And while you're at it, check this webinar out. And so that's what I'm doing. So my own traffic is moving, but the traffic, if you ask me, hey, I'm not receiving any traffic. I bought a gold, I bought a bronze, I bought a titanium. I'm not. I'm going to be angry if you say that to me this morning, because that means you're not listening, because the traffic isn't moving yet. But I was talking to Doug this morning. Do you know what a centrifuge is? I know that some of you guys are, knowledge-based individuals, and you probably from science know what a centrifuge is. Well, my visualization of a centrifuge is when they put those. It's an astronaut thing, right? A centrifuge is a device that spins and spins and spins. Have you ever seen them on the old TV shows where it's like a boomerang, like a long arm, and sitting in a chair at the end is an astronaut, and the thing starts going around kind of slow, and then it spins, and before you know it, that thing. Well, that's what's going to be happening with your traffic. But right now, it is not moving. Traffic is still sitting there, okay? And for anybody else who has a question about their integration of their GetResponse, I'm going to ask you, have you walked through and watched every single video that is there? Okay, because I think that, and also, well, let's just get to it. Doug and Greg is here. And the other thing is this, okay, as I said, our goal here is for people to come in the morning and get a jump start, right? This is where we educate, we motivate, we invigorate, but it shouldn't be more than a 30-minute exercise. Your time will be much more better spent going out there, talking to people, responding to individuals who have opted into your site, and doing those things. But let's see who's in the queue here this morning. We'll get it rolling. Here's the drill. If you've dialed in, all you have to do is press 1 on the keypad of your phone after dialing in. The number's 914-338-0631. Just dial in. When you dial in, press 1. When I take you off mute, I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your phone number. When you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, just say your first name, the city or state that you're calling in from, and maybe the country that you're calling in from, and we'll see if we can help you out this morning. 5011, you're first up.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Jay. I am from, right now I'm in Iowa. I'm an over-the-road trucker.
Awesome.
And I have one question for, or actually I have 2 questions for you, but one thing. This plane hasn't left the runway yet because the pilot couldn't find the checklist. Is it possible, you keep saying listen to all the videos, is it possible to get a checklist built such that when a person has gone through everything, they have everything checked off?
Well, Jay, in Iowa, you are a visionary. You're a visionary. I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret here. One of the things that are on the to-do list is a prohibitive approach where we're going to be very, very soon. People will log into their back office of their traffic authority, and it will be mandatory that they go through the checklist, because they're not going to be able to move from video 1 to video 2 until they have watched video 1. Okay. And then they can move to video 2, and we're very important. And the compliance, for example, okay, people must read and understand the compliance before they can go anywhere else in the site. Greg, Jay, and did you have another question, Jay, before I bring Greg out here?
Yes. The other question is, as an over-the-road trucker, I have lots of time to listen. Mm-hmm. My question for all of us listening this morning is: are you in the Slight Edge?
I am. I wish I was actually an author of the Slight Edge. That's how much I love it. But I will tell you right now, if we were streaming on the internet right now, Jay, in my hand is a copy of the Slight Edge, and I've got chapter 5 is something that I have right now as a little highlight in here, and I'm reading it right now. Okay, the essential points from chapter 4. Only 5%, 1 in 20, achieve the level of success and fulfillment they hope for. The other 95% either fail or fall short. The only difference is the Slight Edge. I'm in the Slight Edge, Jay. I love the Slight Edge. This is like a book that I work with this thing all the time. And whenever I find myself not having a result, like this morning I woke up, I was feeling a little puffy around the midsection, and I realized that I was eating some bad stuff. The slight edge, the little tiny things. If it's easy to do, it's just as easy not to do, and that's why it is so important to do it. Greg, come on out here. Meet Jay, and Jay's over-the-road trucker driving through Iowa right now.
Man, that's awesome. In fact, I'm getting a little static on my phone. I don't know if that's me or what.
It might be from Jay. Jay's there. Is that better?
Oh,
Jay,
that's much better. Yeah.
Jay.
Well,
Jay,
I want to start off by saying, thank you, my friend. I want to start off by saying thank you, Jay, for that great question, because to let you know, I'm actually on the same wavelength with you, and one of the things that's gone on the board that will go together, just like Joe was saying, where you'll complete one step and then go to the next one in a very sequential way, so it'll be very clear. The other thing, like you're saying, I actually would like to have the actual steps actually marked off, and the point of this obviously is for the individual to know that they're completing each step. But to me, I think the sponsors should also know. It really shows someone on your team who's moving forward as they're completing the steps. I mean, it's a huge difference between the team member who got started today and is 80% through his really, let's just call it what it is. I mean, it's probably a 5 to 6 hour process of going through the system setup and the business plan and the marketing videos. Now, of course, the actual system setup, very simple. People know you guys can do that. Really can do that in about 30 minutes. Even though right now the e-wallet's still not connected, that's coming up today or tomorrow. That part's really simple, but the planning pieces really will take you as long as you are serious. If you're serious, you're going to spend time on that. And to me, I'd like to actually be able to have people post their business plans and do some really cool things like that, because again, I believe those are how you start forming the business relationships. We start understanding our teams, why we're able to help them with our experiences. So again, I'm on the same wavelength. But Joe, I also, and Jay and Joe both, I will have you know that my wife has actually been. She went to Israel about a week ago, and it's going to be gone for another week. Yesterday, like Joe was talking about here with the Slight Edge, I got so upset because I've been eating blueberry muffins and pizza and junk food. I actually went through my house. I cleared out the chips. I cleared out the stuff. You have to understand, typically I'm a chicken and brown rice and broccoli kind of guy, and I actually love it. My wife's a fantastic cook. So I went through and cleared out all the stuff. And Joe, the reason I was calling you was actually heading to the store actually to pick up, cold cuts, fruit, cottage cheese, all the healthy stuff. So today, just to have you know, I'm back to the Slight Edge. The Gregster's running on clean fuel going forward.
Excellent. You know what I did yesterday is I actually took a bag of Cape Cod potato chips, because that's like one of my weaknesses, and I opened up the bag and I dumped it off my balcony for all the little quail and all the little birds out there. They're feasting. We'll go look me out these big fat birds, because I'm with you, man. I get what you're saying. 9201. And Jay, thank you very much. Jay driving across the road. 9201, you're next.
Well, good morning, y'all, from Texas.
Good morning.
This is Kara.
Kara, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you this morning?
I'm getting fired up here. I'm starting out.
Hey, Joe, I got to stop things right now. I got to jump out here and say, Kara, what a great video you posted over the weekend. That was killer, my dear.
Thank you. Well, I'm pretty new to putting my face out there on video, so
I'm digging the ink.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just had a couple of comments, and first of all, thank you guys. I want to thank you guys so much, all of you, for all of your hard work, being there and available to answer questions, here every morning, and, even in the Mastermind Facebook group, being transparent and just really what you said about the team, it's so true when you guys come together and, you're there and available for your team. It just really makes all the difference in the world. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
I was on the call on Saturday, and the mindset training was amazing. I really enjoyed that. And so, I'm just really, really super excited about, the future of, where we're all going with this. And anyone can do this. I mean, I don't see, where all the frustration is coming in, because everything is laid out for you right there in the back office. I mean, I am brand new to internet marketing. I've had some, experience with social media, over the past couple of years, but internet marketing, I'm brand new to it. And I've gone in there, I've taken a little bit of time out of my day each day, gone into the back office, watched the videos, done what I've been told to do, and I'm having success. So anybody can do that if they'll just take the time to get in there and do it. You can't learn something, overnight. It's just going to take a little time. So I just want to encourage those people that are out there that feel like they can't do this. You can. I mean, you can. You just got to get in there and do it. Take some time to do it. And get on these calls and get on the webinars. You learn so much in doing that. I have. And, so I'm just thankful and very excited. I did have one question.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the leads that came into the pre-launch back office, are those leads going to be transferred over into the post-launch back office, or is that something that we personally need to go in and do ourselves?
This is a Mr. Chambers question. Greg, this is a great question.
This is a great question, and the answer is because all of those pre-launch leads also sit on the corporate autoresponder. It was actually our plan to actually send them down your path for you. But, I actually like the idea very much of also popping them into your Get Response accounts. And I'll have to talk to Jason, our lead developer, for that. I mean, because it really wouldn't be all that difficult to do it. And that way people could send personal messages along with the reminders, from us to actually go join up under your team. So I will bring that forward. It's actually not on the table yet, but it's a very good point. And maybe come back tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow, and I know you will.
Right.
And I'll have an answer for that.
And hey, Greg, if I can jump in here quickly, just for the benefit of people who are relatively new, could you clarify what you meant when you said we have the email sitting on the corporate servers and we were going to send them down your path? Could you explain to the person who's brand new what you mean by that?
For sure. All I'm letting people know, Joe, is that basically all of those people that signed up, which is now approaching like 65,000 in the pre-launch group, actually does receive they do receive correspondence from Traffic Authority Corporate. That typically for the last 3 weeks, that was actually driving them to sign up with Traffic Authority officially prior to our Sunday deadline. However, like I had told everyone in the last webinar and the webinar before that, we're really excited about even though we had this killer launch, pre-launch to launch, we're really, to me, this month is going to be really more exciting the next 4 weeks, because the 1-2 punch is coming, because we're going to basically take the 65,000 people, everyone who did not enroll in Traffic Authority yet, they're going to be sent down the cold market paths. So again, the sign-up rates from that is going to be quite massive, because basically what do we do? What is the purpose of Traffic Authority, and what do we really train? What's the very basis of our business? It's building a list. Well, people that actually invited people to their pre-launch are building their list. So what, again, to answer, Carr's question, that, basically I like the idea of actually having those records, also on their own personal Get Response accounts, because that's the beginning of their list, if you will. But, from this perspective, like I say, in the 1-2 punch, we're going to actually be sending it down for you, because, again, they're there. That's how we invited people to webinars and all this. So we're going to invite them to your sales path. And then the number 2 part of the punch, of course, is for you guys who bought traffic, that we're going to be starting that traffic tomorrow, the next day, very, very soon. And that's going to, just absolutely create a feeding frenzy, if you will. So, I mean, there's going to be quite a buzz happening between those two things. But, Joe, just to answer your question again, the corporate autoresponder will be inviting your pre-launch members to, anyone who didn't sign up for you, didn't activate, is going to be invited down to your sales funnels, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to get them to become active. So that's part of the plan.
Awesome.
And that's
awesome.
a beautiful thing.
Yes. Thank you so much. And then, are you guys still working on pulling over the active downline members from that pre-launch back office into the new back office?
Me.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I got that darn parrot. The good news on that is, yes, today, as a matter of fact, we're running some things in the background that are going to be, basically pulling over the rest of the people, and we're actually also constructing a brand new database server that will be loaded up tonight, really actually very early tomorrow morning, about 2 a.m. So some really exciting stuff happening, and you're going to be seeing you're going to be seeing the active members be where they're supposed to be over in your traffic authority area. And, of course, with that, will be the commissions and the dashboards and things like that. So, yeah, all of that stuff is really very, very close. That's really pretty much all we've been working on in the background. So you're going to be seeing huge changes there in the next few days.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks for being here on Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys y'all rock. I really appreciate everything you're doing for us.
Thank you, Kara. You rock. Thank you very much for your contributions. And I'll tell you this, like I said, it's a team, right? And the team has got your back. We got this for you. Did you guys know that every single person who came through those pre-launch sales funnels that were sitting in your back office, every single one of those people are continuing to receive communication from corporate on your behalf, and those leads are connected to you. Always working for you guys. 5649, you're next up.
Good morning, Joe. It's Bert from Canyon Lake, California.
Bert, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I hear the frustrations from up top because of some people, probably a small percentage. I don't know. You guys probably have the statistics, but to me, it seems like a small percentage of people who just don't have the vision. They just don't see the vision of the company. As I'm listening to Kara and I'm listening to you, Joe, and Greg, I Googled how to build an email list. And in less than 1 second, Google comes up with 422 million results. 422 million results on how to build an email list. And here we have a company, Traffic Authority, that teaches you not only how to build an email list, but how to build a business. That it's phenomenal what you guys have done. It's really incredible because with someone who has the mindset like the Vincent Ortega Jr.'s, the Adams, the Max, Anchor, Eric Bechtold, they have the vision. They get it. And all I'm doing is just following their lead, following Vincent's lead. It really comes down to, do you have a vision for what you want in your life? And as Anthony Robbins has taught in many of his seminars and many of his programs, find someone who has what you want and do what they're doing. I've found Vincent, and all I'm doing is following what he's doing. Back in the old Big A days, I guess the very first MLM that was ever created by Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel, I remember one of the diamonds, Dave Severn, on stage said, if you're going through a minefield and you see someone who's walked through the minefield, you better take the same steps if you if you want to get over to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my message is, when you have a fear about whether or not your $47 or $220 or $8,000 is going to give you a return, an ROI, just check to see what your vision is. Check to see who you're following. We're following phenomenal people. Greg and Doug, you, Vincent. I mean, it's incredible.
It is incredible, Bert. And listen, I want to thank you very much for chiming in here every single morning. I really appreciate your comments. And one of the things I want everyone to know that, because Bert, I know that you follow Vincent Ortega Jr., and he is the number one earner here right now, and he is a phenomenal leader. And he is one of our teachers here. Okay, I want everybody to realize that we all have access to all of these leaders, including Vincent Ortega Jr. You see him on almost every single webinar, and he's going to be a regular contributor for us when it comes to curriculum time, like a member of our faculty. And you said a couple other things, Bert, and you've opened up a whole nother level of discussion, which I want to get into with you and with the team here moving forward. You know, one of the questions that I answered this morning, right? Every single day, life presents a challenge. Every single day, life presents a challenge. You know, like this morning, I ran out of cream for my coffee. I got it. And so what I've learned over time is that I do my best to not ask the question, what am I going to do? It's not about what I'm going to do. It's about who am I going to be in this moment. And dude, Bert,
he says, all right, 1650, you're next.
Yeah, 1650, you're next.
Hey, good morning to all the Chiefs out there, Barry in Tucson.
Good morning, Barry. How are you today? I brought you off mute as I was wrapping it up with Bert. How you doing today, buddy? What's happening, man?
I'm doing good, man. Great weekend, and want to tell you, Joe, I'm glad you unplugged yourself yesterday, buddy. You deserve it.
Thank you.
I just want to mention, no questions, just a couple of positive things. The stuff in there, all of the information that I went through, I mean, it's phenomenal. Everything, I don't want to go into too much detail, of course, but it's so many tips you can get in there, and I'm still not done going through my second time reading. Mm-hmm. But I want to give a quick shout out to Vincent Ortega Jr. Man, I had the privilege of sitting in on a webinar he was doing live Saturday night, and it's easy to see why he's at $136,000 right now. He's truly gifted. He knows exactly how to talk to his people, and he's going to be there every step of the way with them. And I just want to give that shout out. He's truly one of our leaders, along with you, Joe, and Greg, and also, of course, Doug, and cannot forget, what is his name? Adam? Yeah, Mr. Genius. You guys. Thanks, all of you. But, yeah, shout out to Vincent.
Hey, Barry, listen, I want to tell you something. I thought I heard you breathing on that webinar because I was there, too, on Saturday, right? So, okay, so you ask yourself, right, success leaves clues. So I was just sniffing around, right? Next thing I knew, I had a link in Facebook, and it was to a webinar, and I'm like, whoa, I know this dude. He's on our webinars. It was the first time I had gone there. I was there, and you're right. But one of the things I will point out, and this is what you have to know, is that Vincent Ortega is doing exactly what our plan is. On that webinar that he did, it was his process. This is how I made 100 and X, whatever it was, 120 grand in 10 days. And what he showed, everything that he showed was in our member back office. There was nothing unique to Vincent Ortega's plan. The only thing that stood between anybody who was watching and where Vincent was sitting was the slight edge, time. He built a list over 7 years. Then he has a list, and what does he do? Exactly the formula that was in our member back office. He didn't even write any new emails. He took the swipe files that every single one of us had at our fingertips. It was all there. But I was on that webinar, see? And this is Success Leaves Clues, right? It was like Saturday. I'm like, okay, we got nothing going on. Just concluded doing an hour-long visionaries call. I'm like, okay, what could I do now? I know what I can do. I can get better educated. I can plug into the number one earner to see what he has to offer. And it was refreshing. It really was amazing, because when I realized that he was showing on his webinar the swipe files, the exact swipe files that were in the marketing section, the exact emails, it was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. The guy who's making the most money is using our system that we're teaching exactly the way it's been laid out. And that's when I realized the slight edge, the difference between where I am today and where I want to be, which is $100,000 a month. That's my vision, right? Is to get to 6 figures a month. The only thing standing between me now, today, and getting there is consistently applying simple things. Period. End of story. 5399, you're next up.
Hello there. I really appreciate. This is Nelson from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Nelson, how are you today?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. Hey, I just want to thank you, the Brainstorm group, for coming up with Traffic Authority, because all my internet endeavors was always traffic and getting leads and turning that traffic into clients. And I want to thank you for your efforts for building a site like this.
Awesome. You're very, very welcome.
I also want to give a comment on the first caller that came out with a checklist. I want to echo that. I agree with that also. I think that's a very good idea. If I could just have a sheet with little check boxes. Yes, I did that. Yes, I did that. Yes, I did that. I am not an internet guru. So I think that would be very helpful. But I will also tell you that I think your videos and explaining is good, because me being illiterate, I was able to set up my GetResponse account. I was able to buy traffic. I just haven't got this whole ball waxed together yet.
All right, Nelson, thank you very much for chiming in this morning. And you are like so many people who have been chasing that elusive internet dream, making money point-and-click marketing. And one of the things you said, you highlighted the fact that traffic really is about generating leads, right? It's about leads. I know that people are like, okay, I'm going to buy $200 worth of traffic and I should make $600 this week. What you're really getting is a pot of gold, and that's called a database. You take a look at the results that some of these guys on the leaderboard are having. It's because they have invested they put in the time and the resources to get that pot of gold, the database. And Nelson, we will do that. I promise you that you will see enhancements to the back office and checklists, and there'll be a lot of cool things coming. And I want to thank everybody who's taken the time to give this feedback, because we're a family. Just like I said, we're looking across the huddle at each other. We're willing to fight for the inch. So if that's what's going to make a difference, we're going to fight to make that difference for you, Nelson. I got 6488. You're next up.
Hey, Joe, it's Dave out here in Tinley Park.
Calling with some taunting about the pizza, I'm sure. How you doing in Tinley Park today, Dave?
Well, it's all right. I'm actually on the ambulance again, so let's get this thing moving so we can I can stop doing this stuff already. 25 years is enough. Hey, listen, I'm sure you guys Seinfeld fans. I really think that Vincent is going to be my Newman, because every time I turn around to meet somebody in social media or anything like that, and no, sorry, I'm already in Vincent's downline. I'm like, Vincent.
I love Seinfeld.
Crazy. Everybody I'm running into. Oh yeah, sorry, already in Vince. Vince is already my sponsor. So that's being a problem. Listen, I also wanted to talk to some people out there that are hopefully listening out there. Well, they probably aren't, because they're probably in the Facebook page only doing their complaining. But all these people, like you were talking about earlier, the people that are complaining about they got their $47. Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to make that $47? Go work your job for 3 days. But you'll get your $47 back for you.
Yeah,
if you want something else, this is where you're going to be. But the thing is, people seem to think, what I think people are having problems with, they don't seem to understand that there's a difference between the online business world of network marketing and the offline business of network marketing. Offline business, you could talk to 100 people. You'll probably sponsor 1, maybe 2 people out of them. On the online world, you need thousands. It's probably, I would say, probably a 10-to-1 ratio. Would you say that's safe? I would say that's probably safe. You need to hit the 1,000 mark before you start being a little concerned that something's wrong. I mean, in person it's different, and online they're hit by a lot of garbage. If you guys have been doing the social marketing, hitting up the groups and stuff like that, dear God, what are these people thinking when they join these organizations? Hey, you can move this credit card to this pocket and you'll make $5. What the heck? Seriously, people, what are these people thinking of? And then we show them something that's actually legit, that pays legit. You don't pay through ScamPal, because that's what PayPal investigates all these people. I don't understand. PayPal doesn't allow this stuff, and all these people joining all these opportunities. I already have a business. I made $5 today from PayPal. What? $5? Woo!
I know.
I don't understand people, but if anybody's out there comparing opportunities out there, compare it. If they're using PayPal to pay you, first of all, PayPal does not allow these type of businesses. They don't allow businesses where it's called money laundering. All right, and they have a big policy against that. So, I mean, if being sold, also, not so much PayPal problem, but it's a federal law problem. You have to move products and services. So these people that are out there on this fence that are looking at comparing opportunities, well, we actually have products and services that are used every day. You're not selling some lotion or potion that you don't use or you use it once every 10 months. This is something that's used every day. Every single day, somebody needs traffic driven to them. I wrote a article on my LinkedIn account about what is traffic versus advertising. Because people keep asking me that. Well, what's traffic? Why don't I just buy ads? Well, here's an ad. Did you go past this sign? Did you even see it? They're like, well, no. I'm like, that's because that's an ad. But if you were looking for something, I'm going to send it right to you. That's the difference between traffic and advertising. Advertising, blanket statement. Everybody's going to see it. Nobody will pay attention to it but the people who want that information. With traffic, it's targeted right to the people who are looking for what they wanted to, the information. People got to understand that. So, listen, if you're on here and you're comparing things, you're wondering if this is the right thing for you, get out there and understand and that you need to get your numbers up. 5 people is not going to make you rich. It hasn't never made anybody rich. Free also doesn't get you rich.
Right.
So I don't know any business that's legit, at least, where you didn't pay something to get it started. I know Subway is $120,000. I'm pretty sure that's not free. Nope. Are they going to call that a scam? They call anything legit a scam? No. Listen, guys, I just wanted to touch base because here I'm working on this holiday, so you guys are up as well working on this holiday. You guys have a good holiday, and everybody just keep the faith.
We will, Dave. Thank you very much, and you stay safe out there, brother. Okay, Dave is out here, ladies and gentlemen. He's a first responder in Tinley Park, Illinois. And, Greg, I know you want to chime in here, but quickly, I want a couple things I do have to make a quick comment here is first off, I love Seinfeld. Every single day I have to at least touch a Seinfeld, man. I just love Seinfeld. Newman. I love that concept. And as far as the Internet, I believe that's what makes our community different from any other Internet opportunity is this transparency. Where else can you come every single day, Monday through Friday and Saturday, and actually hear from people like you, Dave, and like Kara and Nelson and PA, and you know, this morning we heard from a guy that's a cross-country truck driver by the name of Jay who's driving through. Where else can you get this level of transparency, man? Okay, we're out here. We're out here living the dream and sharing the experience and making this thing, And the other thing I quickly want to comment is, and Barry, I'm sorry, but Bert, you actually alluded to this a little bit as well. The number of people who are creating a ruckus is really very, very small. Most of the people here with us understand it. Most of the people get it. Most of the people are willing to do the work. But you know what? Have you ever slept in a tent with one mosquito? And so, like, sometimes these little irritants, they build up on me. We got a couple people, hey, put in my money, I want to make, we get that stuff. And so it's kind of like I said, it's like that, I don't know, it's like a mosquito in the tent. Greg Chambers, come on out here, man. Make a comment or two, would you?
I just wanted to comment on Dave's, definitions that he's talking about today. From someone who's been in this industry, doing the internet marketing and lead generation for 20 years, I can tell you the main difference in my mind between advertising and what we do Advertising means that you're spending money and not guaranteed a result. And by guaranteed results, I don't mean guaranteed sale. I don't mean guaranteed lead. I mean they don't guarantee anything. You can put, like a display ad, a classified ad in your newspaper, and you may or may not get a single call. You just aren't going to know. That's called advertising. You can also do similar things on the internet where you can go out and you can spend money, without basically the response guaranteed. The difference with Traffic Authority, what we're doing is, you're paying us for a result of advertising because we're going to send a live click to your business opportunity website. And again, the only reason I really bring up this distinction is understand back in the day when I was just starting out, I was actually paying, dollars for, the way I got into advertising, I was actually, I was literally doing advertising to build my own team in the cold market. And I'm here to tell you, I have experienced many, many times of sending money out and not getting anything back. That's really, really difficult. With Traffic Authority, if you've got a legitimate lead capture page up, I guarantee you will get opt-in leads from every single campaign from basic through titanium. Now, obviously, sometimes there's going to be more sales than others depending on what you're marketing. But, again, difference between advertising and what we do is, again, Joe, I have arrows from where I spent hundreds and sometimes even thousands of dollars because the advertising sounded so good. Their sales pitch sounded so good that there was going to be, results. But it's a huge difference between, actually, paying it for advertising in a cost per action kind of way like you're doing here, where you're doing, the other kind of advertising, which is, really no action is guaranteed. I'm just letting you know, you can be parted from a great deal of money very quickly, and you see this again with radio and postcards and other things where, you can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars with zero result. And again, the nice thing about this team and about what we'll be doing here is, you've got very, very experienced people. We're literally managing a multiple seven-figure advertising budget. We're being very, very careful with response rates. We're using professional copywriters. And, we all have, more than a decade of experience. So, you just have that part on your side because, again, the advertising area in general, it can be a scary thing. And you can lose a lot of money very, very quickly if you don't know exactly what you're doing. So, Joe, I just wanted to add that.
Well, you know what you did, Greg, is you just picked a scab off on my arm here, dude. I remember back in 2012, I was operating a company, and I actually signed a contract that was worth about $300,000 with something called Social Media Magazines. And my first month, they launched the program, and I bought $65,000 was my investment in ads, and I got one lead. It failed. The thing was wrong. The timing was wrong. There were issues. They were late to the market. It was Social Media Magazines. It was a publishing company that went from offline to online. And the first magazine had Damon John on the cover of the magazine, right? The guy that was like, he's on Shark Tank. And I think Jay Abraham was the guy who was interviewed on the inside. It was like it was set to roll. To me, it was a slam dunk. It was a grand slam. $65,000 down the drain. Period. End of story. So when I say to you guys out here, I feel your pain, believe me, I am feeling. Thank you, Greg. You just reminded me of one of the most painful lessons I've ever learned when I spent $65,000 on an ad campaign that didn't roll.
Well, Joe, the real point of that story, of course, is, and thank you for sharing that, and I've done very similar things. The real point of sharing that is that, regardless of people, on our team, whether they're complete newbies, or absolute marketing experts, or anywhere in between, they're not going to experience that here. They're never going to have a zero experience like you talked about. And like I said, I've experienced that multiple times because it sounds so great. Many of those advertising pitches are, that they're one of those Saks Fifth Avenue, ad companies. Those guys know how to pitch, but it doesn't have anything to do with their results. Here, our pitch is kind of on the small side. We're much more interested on the result side. So, Joe, thank you for that.
It's a true story. We'll have next time we meet for some pizza. I'll tell you the details there. 3670, you're next up in the queue. 3670, you're next.
Yes. Hi, Joe.
Yes.
Can you hear me? My name is Cassandra Townsend. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Cassandra, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking my call. I was calling because first of all, I had joined with you all Traffic Academy with Vince Ortega, and I did not get in at the pre-launch, that Sunday night. And so what I did was on the 2nd of the month, I joined in with the 47 and the 220 for the traffic. And then I got an email stating that my signature wasn't approved. So I did get it approved like a couple of days ago. And I was trying to get on to, get my get response and my API, and I can't seem to get the link or whatever to go to that for the, to get started for the traffic and stuff like that.
Okay, well, the traffic isn't running yet. Okay,
I understand that. I understand that.
Okay, so what is exactly what? So are you saying is that you can't log in to your member back office? It's not allowing you to log in. Is that your question?
Well, when I log in to the back office, I can't see where I can go to the reseller and all that, to sign up to get my get response and my API and all that.
All right. Have you gone through all the videos? Because all that stuff is self-explanatory. I mean, if you go back there, and I will give me 1 second here. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Okay, it will walk you through.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sir. I did all that, when I signed up for the 47 and the traffic, I had all that in front of me, to do that. And then that's when it said that, my signature, I guess I wasn't really good at putting my signature in, when it was time to sign. And so then after that, that's when I got the text that saying that when I was going to my links and stuff like that, they were saying that it's not activated or something like that. And then that's when I got that text saying that, my signature, I had to redo it again. And I did redo it, and I got approved for it, okay? So now last night I was on it all night, trying to get into, to get the reseller and stuff like that to get started with the get response, but I can't seem to get to it.
Well, if you go into your member back office, all you got to do, I'm in my member back office right now. Go under reseller training. There's a link called reseller training. And then from reseller, when you get to reseller training, you hit business center. Okay, it's all right there.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm signing in right now. Okay. And because, like I said, I'm new at this. Really, I'm new, and I'm just trying.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you. Okay, I promise I'm going to come back to you.
Would you please? Would you please?
Yeah, there's a lot more people in the queue here, and
I understand.
We're getting very specific here in your back office, but I'll come back to you before we're done today. Okay.
I understand. Thank you so much. Okay, I appreciate you.
No problem. 1605, you're next up. 1605, you are next in the queue.
Hey, Joe. This is Ed from Tucson.
Hey, Ed. How are you today?
Good. I'm glad Barry was on, too. I want to give a shout-out to Barry, too. Hey, we finally linked up, too, on Facebook, so we're going to get together here in Tucson. He's close by to me.
All I can say is boom.
Go ahead.
That's going to be boom,
yeah, right.
man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was on the webinar on Saturday also. I'm also a follower of Vincent, who's a great leader, and I think I even mentioned to Barry, hey, you need to take a look at that webinar, so I'm glad he did. I saw him on there. But I want to thank you for that piece by Al Pacino. That was great. Kind of motivated me, too, as well. And Dave, too, man, he's fantastic. And Barry, and it went from you being a little bit upset to what it should be in the morning, which was quite motivational and inspiring, and like-minded people getting together, just chatting and keeping each other pepped up. So I appreciate that. That's all. No comment. No other comment.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you very much, and thank you for the kind words there on behalf of everybody that you paid a compliment to. We appreciate you showing up here every single day. 2405, you're next up.
Hi, my name is John, out of Florida.
Hey, John, how are you today?
Excellent. I want to first off by thanking Kara for being wonderful and taking the time out to explain everything to me, everything else. I just want to pretty much say, I've been through a long journey these last 10 years in the home-based business world, and it's really great to see a group of guys that that is very patient and that you can communicate with. I just say, man, just please don't let the rotten apples kill you guys' spirits from helping people, because and like you said, how you said you put money out there and you've lost money. I've been in business for myself since 2007, and I know what that feels like. And I've come to a certain understanding in life that money is the energy within itself. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, when they say, "Oh, I spent my $47 and I didn't get nothing back," well, it's the energy that you have to tap into mentally. Mm-hmm. And like Al Pacino said in the thing, it's it's an inch at a time. And I think a lot of times people get caught up, I guess, in the gimmick of it. Okay, this person made $100,000 in a week. Okay, so I'm going to pay my $47, and I can do that. No, it doesn't work like that. That stuff takes time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't come overnight. It's a certain energy that you have to learn how to call. And I feel like, once you master that and you follow the steps, I don't see why that can happen for a person. But I'm very excited. I'm new to signing up in this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you for coming out here, John. And I'm looking. I see you're from 847. So you're from the Chicago area originally, or what's up with that?
Yes, I am. Yeah, originally, yes.
I can see that. Me too, man. I'm from the Chi South Side. Listen, John, I want to thank you very much for coming out here. And one of the things, so many things you said are so relevant to me, to my personal experience, and the way I approach business, and the way I approach life. And the personal development side of what it is we do is more important than anything else. Managing your emotions. Okay, you hear a story of a guy like Vince, right? His name keeps coming up. It is true. The guy made $100,000+. I know every single one of us would love to have $100,000 a month. How awesome would that be? But this guy has been in here for 7 years. He has been building his list. He has stayed focused. He listens to, it's like, it will happen. And so it's like, what are you going to do, or who are you going to be? I asked that question before. So if you decide that you're going to be a patient person who's going to do the work, who's going to plug in, who's willing to learn from the experience, who's willing to take personal responsibility for the results, then magic will happen. And the other thing you said, and I love this part, is that money is really just energy. It is just energy. And the greater work that you do, the more that you give, the more you will get. You can plug into that energy, that money, that wealth. There's so much money. There's so much money available in the world to the people who are just willing to do the work, right? And so it's just okay.
And all needs and purposes.
4030 was talking to somebody else. All right, listen. Let me get back up here and see if I can help Cassandra out, and then we can. I guess we can call it a morning. Cassandra, I promised I would come back to you, and I've come back to you. Have you been able to figure it out yet?
Yeah. Well, I'm on. Okay, when I went to the back office, I see the video where it says, "Do you need high-quality traffic for your online business?" And then it has your picture, Greg's, and about 4 other pictures on the screen.
May I give you a different website? May I give?
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what I didn't have the right website, I guess.
All right, well, how about this? Go to trafficauthority.net.
Wait a minute. I'm writing it down so I can make sure I keep it, okay?
All right.
Authority.net.
I think you're in the pre-launch website. You need to go to your main back office, which is trafficauthority.net.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back out of here.
Are you there? You know what I'm going to do, Cassandra? I'm going to put you back on mute. I think I do have a couple more people here in the queue. I want to get to everybody. I'm going to say the website, okay? Here it is, Cassandra, and anybody else. Maybe you're in the back office of the wrong website. It's trafficauthority.net /login, LOGIN, .php. That's probably where you should be. I'm thinking that you might have picked up the wrong one by mistake. for anybody who might not have the right website, trafficauthority.net/login.php. 4458, did you have a chance to come out yet?
No, sir, I haven't.
How can I help you, 4458? Good morning.
Good morning. This is June from Wyoming again.
Hey, June, how are you today?
I'm awesome. I really want to give a shout-out to Sandy from Colorado from the last webinar we were on for explaining to me what I was doing wrong on that GetResponse from the reseller training business center marketing link step 1, because I was able to go there and everything is running perfectly fine now. So,
awesome.
Yeah, that was just awesome. I also just want to tell Greg that I'm so glad that he took that Slide Edge training there and got off of those blueberry muffins and pizza, because we all know that's just not a great steady diet. Anyways, you guys did a great job, and I'm just so excited to move forward with this.
Thank you, June. And I think, Greg, are you there? The Muffin Man?
Yes. That's ex-Muffin Man to you, though.
All right, thank you very much.
I was going to say, June, as you know, I love you, and thank you for all your support here in the community. And, the part that's so great about the Facebook, of course we have a little bit of excitement here and there, but the predominant, we have 16,500 now, over that amount. I mean, as you guys can all see, 95% of this are actually members helping members, which is the whole point of this. Sandy's also awesome, and the truth is, Dave hit me with something, that we had to fix. There were actually in the reseller member training, there's some videos that for some reason we have the same video in position 1 and position 3. So it's this kind of stuff. Understand. We're human beings. We're doing the best we can. But it's not perfect. But having our team who has that spirit of helping and moving things forward, it's just so exciting, and we're really thrilled to have you guys on the team. And thank you, June.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. There's June checking in again today. June is awesome, one of our regulars on the radio show. I kind of got out of sequence here, so let me see what I can do. 2959, have you had a chance yet?
No. This is Carlos Rodriguez from New York City. How you guys doing today?
We're great, Carlos. How are you today?
I'm good. I grew up playing football, so I know the whole speech about Al Pacino any given Sunday. And it's tremendous how we work as a team here, from everybody in the back office, everybody in the Facebook group. And listen, the resellers training, it's amazing. I learned so much that I didn't know about, from the tax breaks to everything. It's so amazing. And I just want to stay in touch with you guys because you guys motivate me. And I was speaking to a couple of people yesterday at the bar, and I got some emails, and hopefully we're going to put them in the system to follow up.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That's all. Yeah, you're welcome, Carlos. Thank you very much for showing up here again today. I know you got a lot going on there, man. But thank you for taking the time. Okay.
Always, no problem. Thank you guys for this great opportunity.
You're very welcome. There's Carlos checking in from New York City. We'll keep it moving. 201. You're next up. 3689. 3689.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Hickley. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to tell you guys happy Labor Day. And thank the team.
Hickley, thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate your contributions. You've been around since the Beta Launch Company years ago. Seems like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You've been hanging around.
Yeah, I've been listening to you, Joe, a long time.
Thank you very much. You're a loyal listener. You're welcome. There's Hickley checking in from New Jersey. 7300, you're up.
Yes, good morning. This is Kenna from Washington.
Kenna in Washington. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just getting online now to see. I've been trying. I called in last week and said I could not download my email list. And I still cannot. It still doesn't go through. And I called GetResponse. They could not help me at all. They said you have to do it manually. And they were not understanding that, Traffic Authority, that our website was doing it behind the scenes all for us. And so they had nothing to help me with, and I can get my IP address.
Okay,
that's all working.
Here's what I'm going to do, Kenna. Okay.
Yeah.
If you will look up Greg Chambers on Facebook and send him a private message, he will personally take you by the hand and solve this issue to his best. Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
And you may call me Greg Email Chambers if you wish, because we have this problem well in hand. Yes, just PM me. I'll be happy to walk you through this process. There's a few different things that you're actually talking about, and your IP address has nothing to do with that. I can show you the steps very, very quickly once we start just exchanging some messages on Facebook. So thank you.
Okay, yeah. It seems pretty simple. I'm doing, I think, everything right, but it just sits there and thinks and thinks and thinks. So,
Kenna, well, we have the big dog is going to be on the case helping you out. Mr. Greg Chambers is going to be checking in. Listen, I want to thank everyone who called in here today. We are out of time. If you remember, I said we're going to keep this thing to 40 minutes, and we've been now at it for an hour and 21 minutes. So I want to thank everybody who did take the time here today to call in. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the kind words. Make it a great Labor Day, okay? Get ready because traffic will be flowing. We've got a lot of enhancements and updates coming. We will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you a little bit of inspiration, some motivation, and help you get going. Okay, until then, make it a great day, everybody.